things are moving on an emotional level as our young heroes are actually questioning what do they want to do and what do they want and what want to do. We get one scene here from my girl Uchako, and even from a little bit from Froppy that seems to imply that that's there might be some development in them for the future. However, given the fact that the author is mishandling the females, I don't think so in the end. However, I have seen a little bit of who the latest popularity polls is, and are you freaking kidding me? First off, here is me, the angry anime fan, the despair viewer, chapter 163 of the Boku no Hero Academia. And first off, the popularity polls. I don't remember everyone off the top of my head, but are you kidding me? Bakugo is still number one? What is it with people that likes bullies? Are you trying to make me fall deeper into despair by revealing just how the world works? Well, Deku is number two. However, my girl Uchako, she is really falling. I think she was number 9. That ain't good. And for some reason, there was one guy there that actually shouldn't be on that list at all. What was it? The mentalist guy? He is for some reason also on that list. Who were the others? One? I just wish I could have seen that in this chapter, but unfortunately, I did not, so I cannot tell them all. All I know is the list wasn't exactly to my liking. It's mostly also because Froppi, as you know, Suyu, is not on that list either. I mean, they're not giving them enough time. But enough about that. If you want to comment, then tell me the popularity polls then, and then I'll discuss them with you. Either way, in this chapter itself, the students return and their friends greet them with their happiness and stuff like that. It's pretty heartwarming that the friends are really there. Again, the Boku no Hero Academia have potential to become very good if these young heroes can really become friends. However, they're still not doing that enough. So at first, Idea wants them to get in some space, mostly because, well, worries about spirits and all that. However, Deku, knowing that he remembers Sir Night Eye's final words and also Mirio's words, he realizes he must keep smiling and move ahead. In this scene, we see one thing with Ushako that really bothers her. She didn't do so much this time, well, not surprising, considering that these authors really do not like to handle girls. However, that's not my point. My point is the fact that she escorted Sir Night Eye to the surface, and she blames herself mostly because she couldn't do anything other than that. She wonders, wasn't there something I could have done? However, Razorhead gave her some encouragement, saying like, I'm not saying to you to move on quickly, but I'm saying you to that you must take this time to move forward. As she looks at herself, she realizes that she wants to save people, and Suyu agrees. So I think this is a minor character development in Uchako. She has always been one for uh, uh, moving forward and saving people. She may want to become a hero for money, but that's only because she doesn't really have money. But I think this resolves that she wants to become stronger and save people, unless the author mishandles her character. And even Kirishima is a little bit down, because it's worth noting that Ashido, the sexy purple skinned girl, is actually the one who noticed that he also seems a little bit downer. We all know that he is a bit downer because, well, he didn't really have that many times to shine, and even when was strong, it still didn't happen. If it weren't for the fact that I'm actually wondering if Kirishima is gay, I was actually gonna think that this might be a ship tease moment. Of course, the only one who's not really chatting is, not surprisingly at all, Bakugo. I mean, that jerk will never change. So he decides to go to bed, and so will, Todoroki Shoyoto, mostly because tomorrow they will have their provincial license training. But the 4 young heroes, they have difficulty sleeping. So tomorrow they all happens. They are met with the present Mike and All Might, who now it reveals that Eraserhead is actually tied up with not only with paper but also handling Eri's power. After all, his power is the one and only that can cancel out her powers. And as I said before, training her to control that power is not easy. They need a Razorhead there. So President Mike is just moving along as bodyguards for All Might, who's also saying this. All Might remembers when he talked to his old mentor who survived the conflict against that monster. Apparently, uh, they uh, they said that Kurogiri is captured. However, it was a fleeting victory because that direct subordinate of All for One has a power of a natural disaster. I mean, he is a walking disaster. He basically destroyed the top of a mountain. So I'm just, well, that's just great. Enough despair as it is. So well, uh, so as Shoto wonders about what bothers him will happen, turns out that Endeavor is actually here at this place for some strange reason to actually overlook this place. As he sees his former rival in this sorry state, he actually says to him, "Someone, I want to have a proper chat with you." So, it turns out that tomorrow. So one of the reasons why Endeavor is here is not only to see Shoto's training, it is actually also to have a serious talk with All Might. Huh. What, are you telling me that you're gonna go for character development now, or are you just gonna vent? Either way, we are also introduced back to that Gale guy, as well as Toga, who is just dressed as Kami, because we can still just presume that that is Toga dressed as Kami. It's pretty sad though that if Toga really keeps on being Kami, then that should probably mean that Kami is dead or barely alive. Because didn't Toga say that she needed a large amount of blood in order to stay as that person for a very long amount of time? That could very well mean that she has practically emptied Kami of all her blood. Apparently, these two are in this place in order to, do that. And also, Shitkura, that Bakugo calls him, the one who's called Shizukura Seiji, is also there, even though he's only here to observe. No, well, then, other than that, it's time for these to dial it up a notch, as these four, well, let's just say three potential candidates for heroes are now gonna take these exams. We'll see if Bakugo have actually learned something, because I really hate Bakugo's character. He never really goes through any character development at all. It's, I know what you're saying. He has gone for character development, but well, he hasn't softened himself up, and he hasn't looked in himself to admit that there are some things he is actually afraid of. He may go for character development, just not the character development I want. It's slow, and I don't really like that. So yeah, why is Toga here? I have a feeling it's meant to be a despair, because that really is Toga, as we should practically assume that it is, because if it's just Kami who appeared just like that, then one could actually ask themselves this question. Then why would she be so, wouldn't she just tell she was kidnapped by the League of Villains? So yeah, that's very likely Toga. Why is she here though? Is she just to troll, or is that meant to once again foreshadow some kind of despair? Either way, in Boku no Hero Academia, despair is winning. So I just wonder. Other than that, this chapter wasn't necessarily that bad. Some emotional moments and some real life modes of post traumatic stress, somewhat. There are some times and moments in life where you do not know what to do, and even when you look inside yourself. But all you can do is walk forward, because you must deal with it yourself. Deal with it that way. Either way, that's basically this chapter. Give me your thoughts if you have any.